This is hopefully the final instalment on how to build Hebot, and I'd just like to say thank you to everyone that's followed along so far. I came up with the idea for Hebot and Shebot back in October 2015, and the idea came from this little fellow that I found on Pinterest. The actual, I don't know, the design of Hebot, it's gone through a few changes. Originally he was just going to be a bunch of ATBs, and he was going to be all blocking, pretty much a copy of what I'd seen but done in ATB form. But the thought developed and I decided, let's make him useful, let's put some storage into him. So the design changed again, and to be honest, I still don't know what he's going to look like when he's finished. So thank you for coming along the journey with me. Okay, one of the things I do know is that I'll be using some of this TAD to decorate him, and this is the Steampunk Styles Diagraphic 45. Saint again, have the habit of saying I like the blues, so this one's that sort of design on it. I love that. There's a plain blue on the black back that might get used, I'm not sure. This is only a 6x6 TAD, so you're kind of limited. There's those taters, and I'm kind of tempted on his front. It's probably going to end up being this piece, and I'm going to do something that I don't normally do and cut the middle out of a page, because I would really love to have steampunk going across his tummy somewhere, or across the back, I'm not sure. So I know I definitely want to use this piece on him somewhere. Might be on his butt, I'm not sure. It's also these dots, and when I first saw these I thought Matrix would be quite good for doing this sort of project, and that brown there works really well with what we've done so far. So I'm quite often like this when I'm creating. I'm going to try not to waffle on too much longer because it drives me nuts when people do it. Thank you for coming on the journey with me. I don't know what he's going to look like, yes, but this will be the last assemblage video. I'll either do pictures or another video to show how he looks when he's completely finished. Hello, I'm back in the red onesie. So for those of you that know me from my blog, Crafted in the Onesie, you know what I'm like. And today I'd like to show you, or in this session I'd like to show you Hebot's legs and show you how to assemble Hebot's legs. It's really easy. Sorry, I've got glue on my hands because I made samples to show you. So this is one of Hebot's legs. As you can see, this is 3 of the 1-inch ATB, so he is going to stand quite tall. And that leg is, including the wheels, just under 13 centimetres, or if you like inches. Those legs are about 5 inches tall, so he's going to be a tall what? My Hebot. Okay, so I've actually made 3 of the legs, and I am using Tim Holtz poly wheels. No, you don't need to use those, it's just what I'm using. They're really easy to use. She says. They've just got a screw that comes out the top. It's that simple really. So the first thing we're going to do, as you said, you'll need 3 of the 1-inch blocks. I've actually assembled one of the blocks. I'll do another one on camera, but first of all I'll show you how to attach the wheels. So let's separate this out again. 2, 3, 4. So to do your wheels you want one of the symmetrical pieces, and you're just going to find the centre point. So that's as easy as drawing across. So go from corner to corner, go from this corner to this corner, this corner to this corner. I know that teaches you to suck eggs, but If you've not done these before, that'll cover everything. Use a pencil, not a marker, just so you can rub the lines out if you want to. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to make sure that my lines are on the inside when I stick everything together. So, you found your centre. As we discussed earlier about making holes, I like my crocodile too, and I've already checked the size of the screw and I will be using the larger hole. I'm really excited to get this project finished, or to get him built, because I really want to start decorating. I'm kind of over all the planning and stuff now. I just want to get him built and decorated so I can show him off and get started on Shoebot. So, we've got the hole. I'm going to put my screw through on the side that's got the crosses. You can see the size of the hole just there. There is a little bit of wiggle room, but the other size hole was too small. Now, I've been too lazy to go into the hall cupboard and get my screwdriver, so I'm going to use a nail file because we're creative types are like that. And you need to make sure this side and this side are straight in line with your pulley wheels. As straight as you can make it, because when everything's glued together you will not be able to go back in and adjust this if your screw's done tight. Okay. Right, I'll be using glossy accents to put mine together, because the glue I was using, which is a PVA glue, that it was one I bought from the pound shop, I have to admit, I found it wasn't gluing very well, and I'm a little bit paranoid with my pieces about them going together correctly. What I should have shown you, just in case, so you've got your symmetrical piece, you've got your pieces that have got one bit sticks out, 3 bits in. So there's your bit that sticks out, your bit that sticks out, your bit that sticks out, and your bit that sticks out. So you know how this works from here. Just going to glue that into place. My version of Heat-Dot does take a lot of 1-inch ATDs. There's 20 something 1-inch ATDs just on Heat-Dot alone, I think. And that doesn't include the ones that I also got for She-Dot, that she doesn't use as much, I have to say. They do fine nozzle tips for these. I do need to get one. They do a lot less messy. Okay, so that's your 5 sides together on the ATD. Let's get rid of some of that excess first. And now you simply plonk that on top. Okay, so you should now have a 1-inch ATD with a wheel sticking out at the bottom if you're using the wheels. So you've got that one, you've got this one, and we'll assemble one more on camera. Hoping the glare off the plastic doesn't show up too much. This is my first time filming with this camera in the evening, and I can see glare here, so I'm sorry. But I'm kind of excited to get on to the next stage, and I'm really busy during the day, last week or so. So this evening was like my next opportunity, because otherwise it won't be till right at the end of the week, I don't think now. So if you don't want your bot to be as tall, because I think Hebot's going to top out at about 20 inches tall when he's done, then you can make adjustments. His legs don't need to be 3 blocks deep. It's just how I wanted mine. Way too much sledge. You could just do 2 blocks or not do the wheels. Maybe use some dominoes. Or yeah, if you use some Burnley dominoes, that would work for flat feet. Or maybe you could put an ATD that way and do like L shapes for feet and just do 2. I'm not sure. It's trying out different things at the end of the day, see what your style says. This is just my way of making it. Oopsie. I've rubbed too hard. Stick a bit more glue on there. I rubbed that one too hard when I was trying to get the excess glue off. There you go. So it's just as simple as stacking them up now. Now, as you might have noticed, I try to keep mine all the same way, so I'm going to keep going that way. Glue in the middle of there, and I'm putting the glue just in the middle in the hopes that it won't splodge out all around the edges. And that's it, that's the legs. So I'm not going to tip that over because that needs to dry. It's going to leave that there for a while. But Hebot now has the 4 legs that I've got planned for mine. And in the next video I'm going to show you how to put his arms together. They're not quite as straightforward, but I think you'll get the general gist of how they go from how we've just put the wheels on. But I'll see you soon for that one. When we'd started doing Hebot, my screws I was originally using were the 20mm M4s, and what I forgot to point out was these are machine screws, and the reason I'm using machine screws is because they don't taper as you go down. An ordinary screw starts off wide at this end and tapers down to a point at this end. You don't want that for this kind of nape. You need to have machine screws. Now, I did say in a previous video that I wasn't going to buy more screws, but I had to give in. The design will just work a lot easier. So the original ones, as I said, were 20mm, and what I did was I paid 99p for a pack of 5. And these are 50mm. That does mean I will have to cut them down at some point. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the screws that I'm using. Okay, Hebot's hands or his arms is 3 1-inch ATDs. I've got a hole that goes through his arms to attach. And then I've also done like a little claw hand thing, I'm not sure. I just wanted something that stuck out at the bottom. Could have done with a bigger washer, I think. Okay, so to make this dip, what I did is I've got a 20mm machine screw, which as you can see doesn't go all the way through the ATD. I added a washer, as you see there, and two nuts rather, and then that just all needs to be tightened down. So get that, and that's effectively what his hands are, and I'll show you how to do this dip. It's pretty similar to how we put the legs on. Okay, so we're going to start assembling the arms. So you will need 3 of the symmetrical pieces, and we're going to find the centre point of each. Just going corner to corner. Then corner to corner again. And the last one. Sorry, I moved my camera and I try to work out where things need to go. I'm working further away from the camera than I usually do. Okay, so we've got 3 pieces and they're going to put the hole in. Okay, as always I'm using my crocodile 2 and I'm using it on the larger hole, which is the 3/16. I'm just going to punch the hole through each. Okay, so that's the 3 done. Okay, so I showed you how to put this dip together before. Got that here. I've got the cross line showing, and that will be the inside of my ATD. So I'm going to go through from this side. So it goes through that way up. And then I'm just going to use one of the nuts to do that up, and do that up as tight as you can, because once this is glued in place you can't get back in there. Okay, so that's that part of there, and what we're going to do next is put the ATDs together. Get them 3 bits out the way. Okay, so got one ATD that will go together for the top of the arm. So I'll go for the top of the arm. There's another ATD for the middle of the arm and another ATD which is the hand. So I'm going to glue the middle one together first because that's straightforward. Okay, so that one was the centre one. The next one will be the one with the hand on. Okay, so the next stage is to add the hand. And you want it so that this dip, just a plain screwed dip, goes in. So all you've got left is the hand bit sticking out. And then the last one is this one that's got the hole that goes all the way through. So I'm putting my crosses that I drew on the inside. That's the next ATB. Right, for assembling, make sure that your holes are not at the top. Done off the glue in there. Your middle one goes in. Doesn't actually matter which way round these go, to be honest. And then your top one goes on. So I'm going to leave those to dry, and then I'll show you how we attach the arms to here. Hello, in the torso video we put the drawer together that's going to go into Hebot's torso, but we didn't actually assemble the rest of his body. So what I'm going to do now, is assemble this piece. Now I'm only going to put the bottom, the two sides and the back together. I'm not gluing the top in place because when we come to do the arms you do need to be able to get inside easily, and we did discuss this before. So see if I could do this. Take that off. One of the things you need to check when you're doing this is that, I don't know if you can see the arrows. You see the arrow? There's another one that side. Those arrows are pointing up. That gives you your armholes in the right place. Let's lay those out. So I'm actually gluing glossy accents today because I found the wood glue that I have been using, or the PVA I've been using, is a Can Shop PVA, and it's just not very good. I was working on something else with it and it just wasn't very good. So until I get some decent PVA, you can't see me, can you? There we go. Until I get some decent PVA, I'll be using this. And that's the base all together. Hello, this is the last section on Hebot for the assembling part. So far we've done his head, we've done his legs, we've done his arms, and we've worked on his torso. And what I'm going to show you first of all is working out how long the screw needs to be for his arms. So we'll get rid of these and show you what I did. This is the drill that we made, and if you remember in the last segment I showed you, you just need to attach the base, the two sides with the holes in. And this one I've used an eraser and I've rubbed out all of the arrows I had in there, so it's fairly clean in there. And then you can still paint in there if you want to. I think I can faintly see some lines in places, so I might paint, I'm not sure yet. So here are his arms, and as you can see they move, and I'll be showing you how I did that. So his arms are attached. There's his other arm. Remember we put the hole through? Yeah. I'm using one of the 50mm screws, and the reason I've gone from the inside out is because it's easier to mark off how much screw you need. So I've got one of those. I've then got two washers, she says, 2 washers, and they have come out of this packet because the packet I got from Wilkinson's didn't have the washers in it, only had the nuts. So I don't know if it's different according to where you buy from. My first lot came from Wicks, so have a look around that. Everything I've ever seen with moving parts has got washers on, which is why I'm putting washers, and I wasn't sure if I needed 1 or 2, so I'm putting 2 on just to be sure. Okay, so they go on simple as that. And then you put your arm on, and last but not least you need your nut, and screw that in place. Now, one thing I am still worried about with this is the nuts coming undone, so I am probably going to put, when I attach them finally after I've decorated, I'm probably going to put some glossy accents, or I'm hoping to dye Gorilla Glue. I might put some Gorilla Glue on the threads, just that when it's had its final tightening, hopefully that will hold it tight, and that will be it, it won't come off. If any of you know of another glue that just won't come undone, that will make the nuts stay really tight, please let me know, because I'll quite happily upgrade to that. But that's how you put your arms on. I'm going to use a Sharpie pen. I'm not going to mark right up against the nut. I'm going to give a little bit of space, like a couple of millimetres. And the reason I am doing this is because I still got to decorate, and as I said previously, I'm going to use paper, and you need a little bit of space in your paper. Give them that a bit of space. I'm going to undo this now. Stick that in the drawer, that in the drawer, and those in the drawer. So I've got my little mark that I made. I've got the cinch that I showed you in a previous video, and we're going to go through the M4 hole. Try and keep it straight and squeeze. Now I find these hard, hurt my hands, so I use a tea towel. The only thing that worries me is that they bend. I'd really like it if they just cut straight, but I don't know how to do that. And you just squeeze. Whoops, that flew. Be careful with that bit. And that gives me my screw length, and I'm just going to get a nut. So I want to check it still goes on that end, because otherwise I might have to trim a bit more. I've had it once before where I've cut an end off a screw and then the nut wouldn't go back on again. It's really annoying. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to finish assembling his torso, and that will allow us to get all of him assembled. Obviously we're going to have to wait for glue to dry, but that doesn't take long. So I'm just taking the other arm off because I want to keep the balance right. Once you've got your screws to the right length, if you can find, let me just measure that. If you can find 40mm screws, that's the right length for this project. I haven't found them yet. I'm going to keep looking. It could just be that Wilkinson's didn't do the right size and I need to go somewhere like B&Q or to Wicks again. But the ideal length, that cut down length, is 40mm. So see if you can find those, and then they'll be perfect and you won't have this problem. Right, okay, so assemblage. They've got armholes there. Oops, I didn't finish taking that one off. All of those bits. So I'm going to glue. Now we're only gluing the top on. You don't glue the front on because the front is the drawer. If you glue that in place, you'll never be able to use the drawer. Got your 2 armholes, your tops on. Now that your screw's the right size and you don't have to be fiddling in and out, the only time you have to go in there now is to actually do up the screws, do the nuts up on the screws. So this is how my drawer will fit. And here you go. Right, while that glue's drying, let's do some assembly. So take his hat off. Okay. I've measured, I've pulled everything up to the right heights, and my Hebot is 18.5 inches tall, and that includes his, not including the little handle on his hat. So that's his head. I'm using 2 1-inch ATDs for his neck. Doesn't really matter which way you do those. So I'm kind of funny, I like my things to match up. This is his neck. Adding some glue. I really probably should wait for this to dry together. That so that's his neck on. Right, need to remember which way out this goes. The holes for his arms are towards the top of the box, so I'm going to turn it that way. So now the holes are towards the bottom. More glue. I'm not using hot glue because it tends to create a gap, and I've just put too much glue on there. I want that as close to the middle as I can manage it, and I might have to squidge it over a bit in a sec, because, yeah. Get that as centred as you can manage it. Just eyeballing that. Looks about right. Okay, so that's the front of him. The drawer will go in obviously upside down according to this. I'm using the additional ATB box, and I'm going to have mine facing this way towards the back, so that when you turn him round he's got storage there. I don't want the storage at the front. I had to look at it and it looks a bit funny, just having that open gap at the front where before his legs. So I'm going to keep that to the back. I'm keeping an eye on the camera because I've got 1 bar left on my battery. So more glue. I'm going to stop there for a minute just to let all that glue to dry. Okay, this is the last part of this video to show He Dot. I've attached his legs now. That was just simply a matter of gluing to the four corners. I'm using wheels, so I've got 4 legs. If you just don't want to use the wheels, then 2 legs will be adequate. But this is what he looks like. I can't get my camera to record on portrait for some reason today. It's having a funny bit, so I'm going to scroll down him, so to speak, on the tripod. So his head we did in the first video. I'll go slowly down. I put too much glue on when I was gluing his neck, so you might notice just on this side there's some glue there, but that won't matter because I'm going to texturise in a bit anyway. I have actually decided that his arms are a bit short, so part of the reason why his arms are not attached yet is, oh, I've got the washers on that side. The reason his arms are not attached yet is because I might put another ATD on each. If I show you, see how short his arms look? I'm thinking I might add another one to the top of each and put the hole through, and the existing holes where the bolts are currently going through, I can cover those up, that's not a problem. His arms might end up papered, I'm not sure, and even if they're painted, there's lots of ways of covering up those holes. And let's see if I can show you. I'll show you storage at the end actually. I'll just take you down the length. Look, he's got hips and legs, and my boys were teasing me. They're saying that He Dot forgot to go to the gym on leg day because his legs are scrawny, but I think his legs are perfect. That's why he has 4. Okay, so while I've got the camera at this height, to show you the back. So I've opted not to cover this section up. I could have, but I want to be able to put things in there if I want to. So I've still got that option now. And he's on wheels. If he does roll backwards or forwards. Okay. Okay, while we're at this point, that's the drawer. Okay, and the drawers there. It's that easy for putting that on and off. Back up to his head. And you can take his hat off to put some stuff in there, and you've obviously got the storage that we created in the hat if you've done the hat. So thank you for coming on this journey with me. I will probably do a speeded up video, so no talking, showing the process of him being decorated. I won't be doing an instructional one, it will just literally be showing you what I do. I've got a good idea for what's going where, and I've decided that steampunk, let me go back down again, that word steampunk that I showed you earlier on is probably going to go across here or across this side here. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so thank you for joining me once again. I will get this finished as soon as I can. I'm really looking forward to how he finally looks and neaten him properly. I've got a couple of other DT bits to do before I start with He Dot, and it'll give you a break. We've got all the individual videos for this. I'm going to turn them into a playlist so you can just like watch them straight the way through. Any suggestions, any comments, any criticisms, please let me know, because feedback helps me for when I'm doing He Dot, and I really would like to make sure I've got some good projects for you. So once again, thank you. Hope you've enjoyed He Dot. Take care for now. Bye.